The rain fell softly over the quiet village, a gentle drizzle that kissed the earth and sent ripples dancing across puddles in the narrow streets. The world outside was calm, yet inside Amina's small house, her heart beat like a storm. She sat by the window, her thin shawl wrapped around her shoulders, clutching an envelope so fragile it looked like it might crumble if she breathed too hard. The letter had been sealed for a decade, waiting for this moment, a message from her late husband, Arif, whose absence still ached like a fresh wound. Amina's fingers trembled as she traced his handwriting on the envelope. For Amina, when the time is right. She had seen those words countless times over the years but never had the courage to open it. 10 long years had passed since the accident that claimed Arif's life, 10 years of raising their daughter, Hina, alone, 10 years of silent tears spilled into her pillow while pretending to be strong for her child. Today was Hina's 15th birthday. The house had been filled with laughter that morning as Hina unwrapped her gifts and blew out the candles on her modest chocolate cake. Amina had smiled, but deep down, her heart was heavy. Hina barely remembered her father, and every year on her birthday, Amina felt the weight of his absence more profoundly. Now, as the rain tapped gently against the glass and the scent of wet earth filled the air, something inside Amina whispered, "It's time." She closed her eyes and thought back to the day she met Arif. It was a warm spring afternoon, and she had been walking home from school, her satchel full of books and her mind full of dreams. Arif had been standing near a roadside tea stall, his sleeves rolled up and his hair tousled by the wind. He had smiled at her, a smile so genuine it had disarmed her completely. That smile would later become her safe place, the light that carried her through life's darkest storms. Their love story had been simple yet profound. Arif was a humble man, a schoolteacher who believed in the power of kindness. He loved poetry, old films, and tending to the small garden behind their house. Amina, too, was a teacher, and together, they built a life filled with books, laughter, and dreams. When Hina was born, their joy knew no bounds. Arif would spend hours holding his daughter, singing lullabies and whispering promises of a beautiful future. But fate had other plans. Amina's mind drifted to that fateful day, a day she wished she could erase. Arif had been traveling to the city for a teachers' conference. The rain had been heavy, much like today, and the roads were slick. She had kissed him goodbye at the door, unaware that it would be the last time she saw him alive. Hours later, a phone call shattered her world. The car had skidded off the road. Arif didn't survive. In the days that followed, Amina felt like a ghost in her own life. She moved through the motions for Hina's sake, but inside, she was hollow. Friends and family offered their condolences, but no words could fill the void. It was then that she found the envelope, tucked neatly in his journal, sealed and addressed to her. She had tried to open it once but couldn't bear the pain. So she hid it away, burying it along with her grief. Now, a decade later, the letter called to her once again. With trembling hands, Amina carefully broke the seal. Inside was a single sheet of paper, yellowed with age but still carrying Arif's familiar scent, a mix of sandalwood and ink. She unfolded it, her eyes brimming with tears as she read his words. My dearest Amina, if you are reading this, I am no longer by your side. I cannot imagine the pain you must feel, and I am so sorry for leaving you so soon. But I need you to know something, my love for you and Hina is eternal. Life is unpredictable, my love, and I have always feared that I might not have enough time to tell you everything in my heart. So I am writing this now, while I am alive and well, because I want my words to reach you when I no longer can. You are the strongest person I know, Amina. From the moment I met you, I knew you would be the center of my world. You have given me more love than I ever deserved. If you are reading this, I need you to promise me one thing: do not let grief steal your joy. Do not let my absence dim the light in your eyes. Raise our daughter to be brave, kind, and strong, just like her mother. I know you will cry. I know you will miss me. But I also know you are capable of building a beautiful life even without me by your side. I will live on through you and Hina. Every sunrise you see, every flower you smell, every laugh that escapes your lips, I will be there, loving you still. Please, my love, forgive me for not being there to hold your hand through every storm. But know that I am watching over you, proud of the woman you are and the mother you will continue to be. Teach Hina to chase her dreams. And when you feel lonely, look up at the stars. I will be there, smiling at you. Forever yours, Arif. Amina's tears fell freely onto the page, blurring the ink. She pressed the letter to her heart and sobbed, years of pain and longing pouring out of her like a river finally breaking through a dam. It felt like Arif was there, whispering to her, holding her hand once again. Hina, she whispered softly. Her daughter's laughter echoed in her mind, the laughter that had kept her going all these years. She realized that this letter was not just a goodbye, it was a message of hope. Arif had left her a roadmap to healing. That evening, Amina called Hina into the living room. The rain had stopped, and the house was bathed in the golden glow of sunset. She held the letter in her hands, her heart steady for the first time in years. Hina, she said gently, I want to tell you about your father. They sat together for hours as Amina shared stories of Arif, the way he used to make her laugh, the songs he sang to Hina as a baby, his dreams for their family. Hina listened with wide, tear-filled eyes, clutching the letter to her chest. For the first time, she felt like she truly knew her father. That night, as Hina slept peacefully, Amina stepped outside. The air was cool and fresh, carrying the scent of wet earth and blooming jasmine. She looked up at the sky, where a single bright star twinkled. Thank you, Arif, she whispered. For loving us, for guiding us, even now. And in that moment, she felt something shift inside her, a sense of peace she hadn't known in a decade. The pain was still there, but it no longer consumed her. She had found the strength to keep living, to honor Arif's memory not with sorrow, but with love. The days that followed were filled with small but meaningful changes. Amina started teaching full-time again, pouring her heart into her students the way Arif once did. She and Hina planted a garden in his memory, filling it with his favorite flowers. They visited his grave together, not with heavy hearts, but with gratitude for the time they had shared. Years passed, and Hina grew into a remarkable young woman. She inherited her father's kindness and her mother's resilience. On the day of her high school graduation, she held her diploma high, tears streaming down her face as she whispered, "This is for you, Papa." Amina watched with pride, clutching the letter in her hand. She had read it countless times over the years, and every word still gave her strength. Life was not without its struggles, but Amina and Hina faced each challenge with courage. The bond they shared grew stronger, and so did their faith that love could transcend even death. One evening, years later, Amina sat by the window once again, watching the rain fall softly outside. She smiled, remembering that rainy day when she finally opened Arif's letter. That moment had changed everything. It had turned her grief into a beacon of hope, guiding her through life's storms. She whispered softly to herself, "Love never truly leaves us." And somewhere beyond the veil of this world, Arif smiled.